Okay, well now let's evaluate our expression, our function, numerically. And so let's label some things. We've got x, and I guess I already had this centered. Typically it would be like that, but it looks a little better if you center that column. And then we want to keep track of what we're evaluating. That was our expression 1 plus 1 over x to the x. Okay, so we have that. Now, to help with room here, I'm going to grab the top of this and make that a little narrower. That could probably be a little narrower as well. Now, as I look here, I got a little more than 20 rows showing here. That's probably good for making a table. And then, maybe as I do this, well, I can grab that copy. Normally I just do a Control V, but you can't see that, so I'll do this. Now there's one more column of X's and Y's. 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm guessing, behind my picture there. And I can say paste. And so those all go in, and again I can make these a little smaller. I could actually go in here and do something like column width and make all of the one 0.55 or something like that, so they're all exactly the same if my anal retentiveness needed me to do so. But this will probably do the trick pretty well. So I do that, and I have all my columns there. Now I need my x's, and I'm just going to do this first column. I could start with 1, I could start with 10. Probably what I'd like to do is by the time I get here, I would like to get to about 1,000 to match the graph going to about 1,000. And so I have 20 rows by 5 columns. That's 100 entries. 10 times 100 is 1,000, and so maybe what I do here is I start with 10, and now I could do something like put a 20 here, and then if I highlight both of those and start pulling down, it recognizes that pattern, and it will fill that in nicely, like that, and that's great. However, because I want to copy things over and so forth, I'm probably better off using a formula, and so I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to start my formula, and then what I want to calculate in this cell is to take the previous cell and add 10. And there I get my 20, and then as I copy that down, I get to my 200. Now the nice part about this is if I say take that whole thing and I copy and I paste, goes in here, well, all I have to do here is change that to 210, and it automatically changes everything. Whereas if I had used my fill in the numbers from the pattern, I would have had to redo each column each and every time, but this way copy and paste takes care of it. Similarly here, I can do my formula, so I need to do 1 plus 1 over x to the x. So again, equals to start a formula. I pretty much am just using the same thing. Start with a little frowny face there, it looks like. 1 plus 1 over. Now it's not x though, because in a spreadsheet I have to actually calculate something. You don't have a variable, you need a number. Well, where do I get that x value? Oh, right there. And so I click, there's my A2, I close that parenthesis, raise it to a power, and again I want that A2, and I enter, and so I can get that. And now here, I could pull that down, I could do a copy and paste kind of thing. But even better is if I go here to this bottom right hand corner where I'd grab to drag down, if I have another column next to it and double click, it fills it in all the way down to the bottom of that column. That is awesome. And then I can copy that and place it here and do that same sort of thing. And there I have my numbers up to 400. Now at this point, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both of those, do a regular copy, fill in all of that, and say paste. And the only thing I need to do here is, well, instead of 210, I want 410 and 610 and 810. So I had to do that with the keyboard. And then here, these are formulas, so I can just highlight that again, copy. Now notice, I'd love to be able to just sort of grab the two of these and pull over, but I don't think that's going to work. Huh? I was wrong. I don't think I've ever tried that before, because I think I've always thought it wasn't going to work, but look at that, it did. And so I'll just drag that over like that. That's pretty awesome. Now, in Excel, notice I had this much highlighted, and in my spreadsheet, which is not Excel, if I double click on this now, it fills in all the way to the bottom. Well, I'm going to undo that and come back. Now the thing is with Excel, if you had this and you tried doing the double click thing, I think you'd find it doesn't work. And so, though, if you highlight just that part and do the double click thing, it does go down. Now, every spreadsheet is a little different, and so any one little thing I do, you might not be able to do it quite that same way, but there are many ways to achieve the same result. For instance, the copy and paste and fill in and the double clicking and so forth. Lots of ways to get these things copied. Just some tend to be a little easier than others. But here, I've made this table, and I see at 1,000 I get up to 2.716923 and so forth. So I see it's increasing, just not, by the time I get here, not very fast. But there I've made the table. Now I have this blown up a little bigger, and you can usually, on most of these spreadsheets, you can change the size down in the right hand corner. There's pluses and minuses I can do. And so I'm going to take this back down to 100%, and at the 100% level it looks this big. And now if I want to place this into a document, okay, because I want to use it in that document, what I can do is I can just highlight everything and do a copy, and then open up a document. So there, I've got a document, and once again, I fill in with really smart stuff. I come down here and I say paste, and there it is. Okay, and again, I can resize it and so forth, but I'm not sure, so it came in this big. I can undo this, and I'm not sure exactly what happens if, say I had left it this big and did my copy. I don't know if it goes in any differently when I do my paste now. Nah, it fits it to the width, I guess. It does the best, so it doesn't really matter how big it is in your spreadsheet. You can resize it and so forth here. So I have this now. It doesn't have lines anywhere. Does that matter? If it does, I can always go back to the spreadsheet. I've got that highlighted. I could go somewhere here. I'm not sure where. Here we go. So borders, suppose I wanted it fully bordered like that. That added a bunch of borders. So again, I copy, come back, get rid of that one, and then paste the one I have, and there I have the lines on it. So I added the borders in the spreadsheet, and that gave me the lines here. And I have these, and so then again I can add things like table 1 or table 356 or whatever table it is, and give it a name, and that way I can refer to it in the document. But there you go. There I've done my numerical evaluation, my solution to this problem. It looks to me like it does. It doesn't get any bigger than 3. It doesn't look like for sure. I mean, I've been at 2.716 since 600. I'm almost at 2.717, so maybe it gets as big as 2.717. I'm not sure, right? And that's why this isn't exactly a solution, but it's sort of a solution, all right? If I knew for a fact that this expression, as x got really, really big, did tend to zero in on a particular number, then once I knew that, then using this spreadsheet to kind of determine what that number might be would be very reasonable. To use the spreadsheet to decide that there is a number that it heads toward, that's not quite as safe. We'll see that later, but for now you can just trust me that we can't trust this real well. But in this case, we do know this does head toward a particular number, and we'll see that. Again, we'll have to trust that it's true. It's really calculus 2 typically is when you do it. We might take a little excursion and show that this works in this class, but typically it's a calculus 2 thing where you show that this does work and it heads toward a particular number. But at any rate, we can use the spreadsheet to calculate these for lots of different numbers, get a nice numerical solution, as it were, and have an idea of what we're heading toward, and it looks like somewhere around 2.717. Okay, we will find out that that's a little off, but hey, we're not doing too badly. Okay, so we'll call that good for this video and move on to other things.